Okay.
All right. So what you got for us this week, Nikki? What are we going to talk about?
So this week I was thinking, what are some good business ideas for people who are stay-at-home moms, stay-at-home dads? If you have been recently let go of your position or anything where you don't have a lot of money, but you want to start making income. So I came up with 10 things that you can do to start making money. Some of them you do need a little bit of seed money, and some of them you don't. Some of them you can just start. So we'll briefly go over them, and then we'll chime in with our experience with different ones because they're probably things that we've both done in one form or another. Okay, so the first one you need some seed money. The first one's real estate, right? It is I don't want to say it's very easy to become a real estate agent, real estate salesperson, but the market is good for it. There's a lot of agencies, there's a lot of companies that are always looking for real estate salespeople because it's a high turnover, because it's commission only. So it's not necessarily the most optimal thing, but the commission is big when you get it. So if you think about your personal area where you live and the average price of a house, and then you think your commission is going to be a percentage, we're not supposed to say the percentage, but it's going to be a percentage. It's going to be a percentage of that, depending on what your split is. You could take home checks of $5,000, $10,000 from one sale. Now, of course, you're going to work 6 months for that sale, but if you put it together, you could have a nice income. And it's the startup, I think classes for real estate, they range anywhere from $500 to $1,000. But some places will pay for you to take your real estate classes and you can take your exam and then you're in. The exam is fairly easy, so it's an option. It's especially if you just let go and you have a little bit of savings left, you might want to invest in that. So real estate is a good option. I would say some of the skills you need for that are you need people skills. Real estate people have to be able to get in people's business. You got to be comfortable talking to people because you got to remember this is going to be the biggest purchase of some of these people's lives. And so you have to be personable, likable, good listener. You got to listen to all their woes and stuff. You've got to be adaptable, flexible, So I know personally, I know me and Tiff both have experience with that. I don't know if you want to add anything to the real estate game.
Well, it's funny because going all the way back to real estate classes, being that me and Nikki know each other pretty well. We go back like car seats, literally. So here I go showing up to a real estate class, doing my little grind many years ago. And here she come popping up in the class. I know what you doing here.
Yes. You know what? I was pregnant with Cyrus, who will be 21 next month.
Yes, you was big and pregnant. I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that though. But you was big and pregnant. Yes, girl. But you had that determination because I don't know if I could have did that, big and pregnant.
Oh yeah. Dude, I was like, I got to give me some secondary income. I got a baby coming. Oh yeah.
I had a good time learning. It's funny because what pushed me to try it was because some people may not know this, but I actually attended some school after high school, just a little bit. Okay. And I was actually going to be a paralegal. And my thought process back then was I'll be a paralegal, I'll work at night, and I'll go to law school and during the day. That did not turn out. Okay. Because I ended up getting pregnant during that time period, and things changed. But things changed, but one of the classes that I had to take for my paralegal studies was real estate. That was my easiest class out of tort, criminal, medical ethics. Like there was basically you had to take like every section of law. Real estate to me made sense. because with like civil suits, it's all about the preponderance of the evidence. So it just need to look like you did it. Possibly did it. You know what I mean? You ain't have to really have done it. But if it looks like you did it, you owe money. You know what I mean? You got torts and injuries. That's normally dealing with like insurance claims, and then this criminal law. Don't even get me started on that. Okay, that's a whole nother show. Okay, let's not even go there. Criminal law is a whole nother animal to itself. That, in my opinion, didn't make any sense. You know what I mean? It didn't make it like, wait a minute. So I could do this, this, and this, and only get that amount of time. But if I do this, I get this amount of time. But that hurt more people. You know what I'm saying? So real estate was a class that I was like, this is making sense. 1 + 1 = 2, essentially. It made sense for me. So when I was reevaluating during that time, I was like, I saw the real estate classes, and this is how far back this goes. Many people may not remember this, but people our age do. Remember when we got them stimulus checks?
Oh, yes.
Okay. We got yes. I think it was the Bush Jr., the son.
Yep.
It was like, we got this extra money. I want people to like me, so I'm gonna send y'all checks. I took my stimulus check and paid for them classes. I didn't have no money for that. Okay. That's how I paid for those classes, for my real estate class. I took that stimulus check and I invested that check in myself. I ain't getting no new purse. Okay. I paid. This check is gonna make me some money. Exactly. And those classes today are very relevant for things that I'm moving into now. One of the things I do, I'm moving into real estate investing. So it's very good. It's very good that I had that class, even though I do believe in having representation, because having someone look out for you and your interest is good. But I have a familiarity with some of the documentation and terminology that's used during the real estate transactions, where I feel comfortable. I understand what's going on. Right. So I actually recommend, even if your plan is to not be a realtor, you should still take some real estate classes.
Oh, definitely. And I would say real estate is a job for a person who is sales minded and business minded, but you have to understand that you are pretty much on your own. You know what I mean, with what you're doing. I mean, even if you're with an office, you still have to keep track of everything. A lot of offices require you to pay fees and stuff. So you have to be able to work independently. If you're a person who doesn't like having a boss, it's a good job. It's a good position. I mean, it's a small business. I mean, I won't even call it a job. Even if you work for a company, it is still a small business, and it's a good way to get in and get money, large sums of money. I'm not going to say quickly because it's not quick.
It's short and quick.
It depends on like how.
Well, it depends on your market.
Yeah, and your market.
If you are in a buyer's market, then you can, and also you gotta have some marketing skills.
Oh, definitely, yes. You gotta be able to and market on a shoestring, because everybody can't take out large full page ads in the local magazines and newspapers. So you have to find unique and clever ways to market. Yes, definitely.
Thankfully.
I would also say why this works for parents would be that you can take your kid with you. I mean, people, when you're showing houses, it's not necessarily the most professional, but if for some reason your babysitting falls through and you got to show some houses, Billy and Sally can get right in the back with you. And most people have their kids with them when they're going on tours and stuff with you. It's not looked at as totally unprofessional. I mean, hopefully you don't have no bad kids that act up.
Well, that could help you sell your house, though, because if they see the kids playing in the house, they're like, oh, those kids like the house. My kids are gonna like the house.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
because once they get emotionally attached to that house, that's when they want to buy it.
That's when they want to buy it. Yeah. Yeah. So I would definitely, that's probably a good, my first suggestion for a nice hustle business, small business for people, stay-at-home moms, stay-at-home dads, parents, people in between jobs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the next one I'm going to is a tour designer. Okay, so tour designer is somebody. Let's say, like, okay, so where me and Tiffany are from, we're from Chester County, and so there are spots out here that are part of the Underground Railroad, right?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
So if you know these certain things, or let's say there's a lot of like museums, right? You can compile a tour, sell that tour to people, and then you put a little markup on it so you can make some money, and then run it, because all you're doing is getting a group of people together. You can do Facebook marketing. All this is relatively free. Even if you don't do the paid ads, you can set up a page for your company. um, you can go to the local places, the local restaurants and stuff, and advertise your tour there, because that's going to bring them business as well, like if you stop at the restaurant afterwards. So that's really relatively no startup cost with that. Basically, just getting on your computer, creating an ad, contacting the places that you're going to visit, that you're going to take this tour, setting up the times. The people would pay their own entrance fees, so it's not coming out your pocket. So that's if you know a little bit of history, if you got a lot of know a little history, know about your place where you live, that's definitely a way to make some extra money. And it's all about how much you want to put into it.
Shoot, Nikki, I'm writing this one down because I might have to look into this. Hold on, because I'm thinking about. I got a few. Hold on. You find out. I already make me another business. Hold up. Shoot, I'm already in my head. Okay, I'm gonna market to the hotels, Airbnbs. Okay,
Girl.
okay.
Oh yeah.
Because now, wait a minute. I'm thinking about this. I'm like, because during the summer, my family, we did a little vacation. We went to South Carolina. Shout out to Myrtle Beach. Had me a great time, okay? When I checked in, the lady gave me a coupon for a place and said, this is a special coupon to this special kids place, and you can use it the whole time that you're here. Oh, it wasn't affiliated with them, but she was like, our hotel guests get 20% off. Guess what I did with that coupon? I used it.
Yep. See, so there's money to be made. You have to figure out what your markup's going to be so it's worth your while. And if it's something that you're into anyway, like history or art, or shoot, you could do a sports tour. There's all kinds of things. It just depends on where you are. And this again is something you can take your kids with you, because you're the tour operator. You set the rules. So
sounds like your kids won't get a job.
That's right. This is my assistant. That's right. Billy and Sally are assistants now. Right. So that's my second small business side hustle. Now, it can start off as a side hustle, or you can make it, depending on how much energy you want to put into it. You could be the tour designer of Coatesville. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to. It's as big or as little.
All right, all our Coatesville, Pennsylvania peeps, y'all need to listen.
That's right.
Think about how many of them blue signs of historical places are just around Coatesville or Chester County. Somebody better make that business.
Please. If y'all decide to do that, just break us off a little change for that.
Exactly. I'll help you with some marketing. I already got some ideas already. I didn't even think about that. But Nikki, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Good one. Yes. Okay, so number 3, we're going to go back to something that we're familiar with. Cleaning. Cleaning is one of the easiest things to get into. Let me tell you.
Cleaning saved my life, okay?
Girl, I hear you. if you ain't afraid to get your hands dirty, right? Not afraid to get your hands dirty. Cleaning is one of the easiest things to get into. And there's different ways that you can get into. We'll discuss some of the different ways. You can just advertise yourself. You can go around, do door to door, but you want to, when you do something like that, you want to make sure you're going into neighborhoods that are a little bit more modern, with people who have a little bit more money, because you don't want to clean old houses. So I'm gonna just tell you that old houses are no fun to clean, and they're very hard to clean. So you don't want to do that. But if you're gonna do house cleaning in particular, that marketing and setup is very easy. The supplies, I mean, honestly, you can get the supplies from the dollar store.
Girl, I was getting ready to tell you, don't now. I have stepped my game up. Okay, I no longer have to go through that process. But when I had no money, Dollar Tree was my supplier. Yeah. Okay,
that's right. That's right. Yeah. Yes. I mean, but you know what I'm saying? That if you don't have that pocket change and all you got is what you find in your car, and it's about $3 or $4, get you some cleaning supplies. So once you do that, there's other ways. Now I would let Tiffany talk about like some of the other ways you can get in if you got a little bit more money to invest into it. You could go into a franchise.
Yes. Now, one of the things I believe in this. Now, some people may not understand the way a franchise works. You can actually purchase commercial cleaning franchises and residential cleaning franchises. A quick Google search will find a company. Trust me. And the second you do the Google search, they're gonna all start marketing to you on Facebook. Okay, don't worry, you're gonna find them. Okay. Okay. A quick Google search. Okay. I'm big on getting franchises for commercial cleaning. Yep. Because commercial cleaning, in my opinion, is quite more competitive than residential cleaning.
Definitely.
Right now, when it comes to residential cleaning, I do have a residential cleaning business, but I actually think of it more as a referral business.
Okay.
Because I essentially am sending out jobs to other cleaners.
Okay.
That's how I look at it. So I don't technically have to go into all of the properties. Right. I have a set amount of independent contractors.
Okay. Yeah.
I make sure I say it just like that. Okay. that I refer the jobs to, and they get the cleaning done. Okay. I collect the payment. Yeah. I take the payment that is negotiated with my independent contractor. Yeah. They get paid, and I make a little bit off the top. Okay.
There you go.
There you go. Now, my commercial cleaning business, I buy a franchise. There are many companies that will let you do many different options. I believe, because I'm in a predicament where I pay for my franchise up front.
Right.
Many places will offer a down payment and like a high interest. And I say high interest, I mean it's high, like 10, 15% loan that's attached on to your check every month. I don't believe in that. But if you're getting started, I had to do it when my first franchise. I put $1,000 down. Yes, it was that cheap. I put $1,000 down, and they took approximately about $40 out of every check.
Yeah.
And I eventually paid that off. I ended up buying another person's franchise, put a little sweat equity in to buy it, and I ended up with, at that point, probably about 10 to 15 commercial cleaning accounts.
Okay.
Okay. Right now, I am actually working on getting contracts from my state. Because I like government money.
Oh, who doesn't, right?
Okay.
Who doesn't?
Government money is nice.
Yes.
And there are processes, thanks to one of the things we talked about before. Small Business Association ran a little class on how you land these contracts. And because I am a woman of melanin, I get a little bit of preference because my business is considered a woman minority owned business.
That's correct.
So there is preference given to my company because of me. And there's laws on the books that says a certain percentage of contracts from the state have to go to people like me. So, since that's the case, I'm doing my part.
To your advantage.
Using that to my advantage, okay? Now, no matter what state you're in, they're going to have a process for that. Small Business Association, like we've talked about like 3-4 shows ago, something like that. Go ahead and listen to that. We're going to put a suggestion right here so you can go to it. That show will talk to you about how to use their sources, but that's how I learned. Now, that's where I'm at now. So the people that I hire are my employees when it comes to my commercial cleaning because they work for me. When you're dealing with the government and some of these franchise places, they don't believe in 1099s. They want you to get employees. So some places have gotten in trouble with the law.
They want you guys to get in the game. Yeah,
exactly. So me and the IRS are like this. So I do what I'm supposed to do, so I'll get no trouble. But those are, when it comes to cleaning, I mean, I'm talking about when you get to a bigger spectrum. Let me tell you, my first cleaning job came from Craigslist. Okay, a quick little post on Craigslist back then when it was popping, and that's how I was getting job after job after job. It was nice because I didn't really have money back then. I didn't have a job, but I had free hours, go clean at the house, cash in hand, and that's what got me to the point where I'm at now. For real, that was my real first business out of losing my job and saying I gotta come up with something. Was cleaning.
Right.
That's why I'm real vocal about cleaning, and because to me, I'm not too good to wash a toilet. So,
well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're not afraid to get your hands dirty, cleaning is, I mean, something that it doesn't really involve, like, you don't have to take any classes. You don't have to, like, there's really no certification for it. You know what I mean? So it's a good thing that if you don't have those startup funds for something grander, you can just start out your own house, you know? And so it's one of my top recommendations. And the funny thing is, or not funny thing is, it's one of those things that grows, because if you get good clients, they're going to keep using you, and then they're also going to refer you to other people. And especially if you're doing commercial clients, you're talking about year-long contracts, you know. And then if businesses grow and they open up different buildings and stuff, they're going to be like, hey, can you clean this building too? Can you do this? So it can expand. I mean, you can quickly start as a one-person operation, and you can quickly expand to, you know, a 10-person operation in less than a year. I mean, that's how good it is.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you gotta have the right. You gotta keep your mindset right. You know, always have enough. Always make sure you have enough money to pay your people, get your supplies, and really, you ain't got that much overhead. Yeah. To be quite honest with you, there's not a lot of overhead. I mean, unless you go out and you do the whole renting an office and things like that. But you don't got to do that with this business in the beginning. You just don't.
Right.
You don't have to.
Yeah, you don't wait on those things.
Yeah, you don't have to do all that. You know. And what other point too about a commercial cleaning franchise and a residential franchise? There are things that are on the back end that they take care of that you ain't got to worry about. And the number one thing is insurance. So when you get one of those franchises, normally your business insurance is already tied into that package, so you don't have to go get outside insurance. So that's the less bill you gotta pay. And that's important.
Right. Now I got business insurance. I mean, because I'm not with a franchise, but It's like $3 a month. I mean, this is just
it's
real cheap. I mean,
it's real
it's
cheap.
like, it sounds daunting, but then when you start doing quotes and stuff, it's like, oh wow, that's how much it costs. I mean, it's not. Yeah, so don't let that. And if you need, this is the type of thing, if you need help with like figuring out what your budget is and your overhead and your markup and what kind of things, that's the things you can go to SCORE or SBA. That's what they do. They give you advice on that type of stuff, other than Entrepremommies, which can be too. But these are other sources for your individual state and regional and local area that can help you figure out those things. Because there's a lot of online calculators and stuff that help figure out those things too. So you're never really, I mean, there's a lot of free information out there that can help you with the logistics of these types of businesses.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, so let's go to number 4, network marketing. Yay! What's a network marketer? Okay, so network marketing is anytime you are using your network to increase your network, which means Avon, paparazzi. I know it's not called prepaid legal anymore, but prepaid legal. Let me see. What's that other one? The real popular one. They sell cleaning products. What's that called?
Amway.
Amway. Yes, this is network marketing. Now, the component with network marketing is usually has a low startup. You know, most, like I think Avon or something, you can start for $2, right?
Yeah.
So slow startup, but I mean, there's some drawbacks to network marketing. So I'm going to be positive. I'm not going to bring up any of the drawbacks. So because if you have a lot of friends and you have a lot of connections, you know, this is a good way. You're basically you have parties, you're selling to your friends, and you can make a little change on it. I would not advise this as my option if I lost a job going to network marketing, because I feel like some of the startup costs and some of the demands are a little bit greater than somebody who needs to make some money like yesterday. But maybe it's a good side hustle. I think it's good for the holidays, because if you give in gifts, you can buy from yourself, so to speak. So you know, network. We've all done a little bit. I've done Avon. I've done.
I've done it.
What else have I done? I've done prepaid legal.
I've done that too.
Yeah. You know, we've all done a little network marketing.
I've done.
A little bit of dirty network marketing in our past.
Yeah, I've even done the I'll call them pleasure parties. With the adult pleasure parties, I've done them because they got network marketing for that. Trust me. Okay. I used to do them parties like I used to be booked. Okay, booked doing them parties.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Made a little cash.
Oh man. Okay, so network, we're just going to touch on that. There was always options. Like I said, I wouldn't use that for I just lost a job, I got to feed my kids type business, but I would use that as I need to make some Christmas money.
Yeah, that's a side hustle. If you want to say, I would say more of a side hustle, because
yes,
trying to feed your whole family, pay a mortgage off of that, in the beginning, you ain't going to do that. You're just not going to, unless you know a million people and they all sign up. I would not look at that as to, oh, I need to feed my kids this week. If I need to feed my kids this week, I'm
right, yeah. Let me go sell some lotion now. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. So okay, so the next one I'm thinking is creative. Okay, so let's say you're a photographer, you're a painter, you're a potter, you make soap, you make perfume, any type of craft. That is, I mean, first of all, if you're good at what you do, if you spent some time because you enjoy it or you've got some education behind it, you can always make money off of that. You can just set up at a flea market and make money off of that. Now, of course, you're going to have the cost of the space of the flea market and stuff. And then you also need to put some pizzazz on it. I don't know if you've been on Etsy, but your stuff needs to look like Etsy. So at the very least, your stuff needs to look like Etsy. Because I've seen some crafts and I'm like, okay, would you really expect me to buy that? So you do have to put some effort into your design and layout and how you're going to sell your things. But again, you can always hire somebody to help you with that, and it's relatively low cost.
Oh yeah.
But just the basic crafting, let's say you're a painter, you can just sell your canvases anywhere, and you can do it online. You can do it on Facebook Marketplace. That's great. eBay. We haven't even gotten into eBay, but eBay is a marketplace of just talking about crafting and stuff. I would say my first go-to would be Etsy for crafts, because that's the kind of handmade market there, even though they let non-handmade stuff on there now. But if you have a skill like that, make money. I mean, if you got a room full of all your creations, why not share them with the world? Very easy. You can even set up a free website on like Wix or what's that? There's a bunch of free websites that can put your stuff up. Instagram, shoot, you don't even have to set up a free website. You can just set up an Instagram account for your business, for your art.
Yeah. Things
so,
that people sell on Instagram should be illegal, but it's good. It's good for a business owner.
Oh, I've seen some stuff on Instagram. Yes, I have indeed.
Some days I'm like, oh, they be selling topical products on Instagram.
They got some, Some people get a little bit, call it free on Instagram.
Yeah. If they can do it, you can do it.
It kind of goes into 5 a little bit. That's true. That's true. If you are crafty and you don't necessarily want to sell your art, you can sell lessons, right? So you can do that from the privacy of your own home. You can do it on YouTube. You can set up lessons with people, and you can teach people how to do what you do. So that's idea number 5. You set your own price for that because it's based off of your time and experience. You can target kids. People are always looking for stuff for their kids to do. And if you know how to do pottery, you can scale it down to something that kids can do. You can make money just doing, I would say if you just wanted to even do like the community event market, I mean, you're investing maybe like $20 at the table, but you can do a display, then you could offer coupons to the people that come to your table so that they can get lessons afterwards. Or set up times with you afterwards. So you can, this is totally out of pocket, maybe the cost of the paper, the cost of a space. At most community events, some tables are free, but you're looking at $20 to $30, $40. I mean, if you're already a creative person, you're investing that at least in supplies anyway.
Oh yeah.
So definitely a way to get started. Nice side hustle. And that's a side hustle that could turn into a main hustle if you're really good at it and you have the time. I mean, most of us, if you're not working, your biggest resource is your time. So, if you don't have kids running around, but even if you do, you can offer classes. Like I said, you're setting the class up. So if you want your kid in there with you, your kid can go in there with you. That's a little different than if you work at, McDonald's. You can't really take your kid with you. So, but
they frown upon that.
It is a way. Right. You can't set your kid up on the fry station, not at all. So, but if you have an apartment, if you have a house, because there are some limitations as far as location, but you can do it at the person's house if you don't mind going. Then you might not want to take your kid, but it's an option. So that's number 5.